And then follow up regarding providing them like homework in between the calls, prior to the calls, and being specific on when they send that over to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I recorded it late. This is Jess's job. So that was some real good coaching for the coaches out here. That's why I got to be live. All right. Really good, Louisiana. So you want to get them committed. Like, it doesn't matter what the commitment is. You just get them committed before the call. And then if you have a 2 week gap,
Sure.
you definitely want to have them engaged. So you don't go 2 weeks before talking to them. At least within a week, you're in some communication, right? Hey, I did
Right.
the
Right.
assignment. Great job. I acknowledge you. Hey, boom, boom, boom. What's your biggest? And now you're building a relationship. Remember, coaching is a relationship business.
Right. Great.
All
That's
right.
very helpful. I appreciate it.
You got it. Way to step up and get
Thank you.
coached. I acknowledge you. I also, in a
Thank
word or a
you.
sentence, here's the thing, put in the chat box how you're feeling right now, or what was most valuable for you in that conversation. Either one, since we doing things a little, when Jess ain't here, we kind of do things a little different. Not better, just different. I'm just saying. All right, so here we go. Word or sentence, how you feeling, or what was the most valuable thing you heard in that conversation? Leadership in your call. Good job. All right. I see Deets. The next person to share is, let's go with my man. I haven't seen him in a minute. He's been out there in the world creating this coaching practice and this leadership in companies. Let's get my guy Samit on the call. What's up, Samit?
Having the time of my life.
Yeah. Oh, good job. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I missed you, man. I love that smile, your energy. It's really good to see you.
Perfect. So I am showing up powerfully. I'm a totally different person. At the beginning of this year, I decided to 5x my income, which led me to say no to a lot of things. I have a lot of free space in my calendar. At the same time, in the last 3 months, I have signed up 2 new clients, which to me feels
How many?
two
Two. Good.
at my highest rates ever. But it still doesn't seem like progress enough to take me like to where I want to be
Yeah.
in my income, right? So, and maybe it's just part of the process, but it's a lot of space, and I'm taking leadership. I'm asking people to commit, and it reflects in how I'm showing up. It reflects in my fees, but I'm not meeting enough people, and I'm getting a lot of rejections. I'm getting a lot of no's for the new fees, but
Yeah.
I don't see this leading up to 5xing my income by the end of the year.
Okay, good. Great question. So, Samit, just let me like normally before you raise your fees, how many clients would you have at one time?
So last year, I would have 10 clients.
10 clients. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And so let me ask you this. In 3 months, if you had your lower fees, right? If you had your lower fees in 3 months, and you were doing the lower fees, what would be the number? Write down the number you would have generated just in your mind. If you had the lower fees, you got some more yeses, what would be the number? You can share it with me if you'd like.
Maybe 100K. Yeah, 100K.
Okay. So you think if you kept your lower fees and you enrolled, those people for 3 months, you would have 100K.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Now, what were the two higher fee people? What did that come out to?
that come out to 70K.
70K.
And
Okay.
the 100K would have come out of 5 clients. This 70K is 2 clients.
Okay. All right. So this is a beautiful place actually to be. Okay. Because there's a natural progression when you raise your fees, you're gonna get some no's, more no's, and you're gonna have more space,
Mhm.
right? And so this doesn't need to be an either or thing, right? So the 5x in your income is great, and yet when the focus of what you're doing is focused on the outcome of the goals, what you miss is falling in love with the process. What I like to call chop wood, carry water. You ever read that book?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that book was about?
No, but I again, I know what the title says,
There was
and
a guy wanted to be a samurai
yeah,
warrior, so he goes
yes,
to a
yes.
samurai school, and he
Mm,
asks the master. He says, "Master, how long will it take me to become a master?" And he says, 10 years. He says,
mm,
"What if I double my income? What if I work twice as hard?" He says, "If you do that, it will take 20 years." Right? So he said, "Well, tell me, I want to learn how to be a samurai. What are the moves?" And he said, "You don't need to know the moves yet. What you need to do is go chop wood and carry water." So the guy started chopping wood and carrying wood, and after a while, it was like Danielson from Karate Kid. He's like, "We had a deal, man. We had a deal. You told me you're gonna." And he said, "Look, if you don't chop wood, we don't have any fire. If we don't fire, we can't eat. If you don't get water, you can't replenish, and this school doesn't go on. So if you don't understand the basics, right, and stay in the basics, you're gonna have to return to the basics." So why am I saying that, Sami? What do you think I'm saying that for?
I'm not sure what are the basics that I'm missing.
No, no. So the basics is that you can enroll clients at any rate that you want, and that's a superpower for you. You're
Mm,
able for you to say, "Hey, Dev, if I kept lower rates 3 months, I can make 100K." That's always available for you.
yeah.
Okay. So this either or proposition, either I keep high clients, right? Or I lower my fee, doesn't need to be either or. It could be an end.
Mm,
So there's certain people, for instance, who is like you have your higher fee, and they say, "I can't do the higher fee." And you may say that, like, "I really want to work with this person." So you may think about it for a couple days and say, "Hey, I got an idea. Can you jump back on a call?" And you create a smaller agreement with them that values your time. You don't lower your fee. So if like whatever, 10, 20 hours is 20,000, right? I'm not going to give people 20 hours for 10,000, right? But I'll give people 10 hours for 10,000, right? So my time is still the same value.
mm.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Right, right. So it's like, "Hey, I know that I quoted you whatever your fee is, 35K for the year, right?
Mm,
And maybe then, and you're not ready for that. I've been thinking, I don't do this much. I make exceptions once in a while. For you, let's just do a 6 month program, half, and that's 17 for the year, whatever it is, 17.5. How does that sound?
mm,
And then what happens is you take a couple clients that you really work at, but then you have a cutoff point. It's like if I have two, maybe you get two in at a lower fee that you and then after that, then it's a hard stop. Or you could say I got two people that could come in at this certain rate, and that's it.
mm.
Instead of, if that's what your goal is, right? To generate. Now, the long game is you need to be in more conversations with people and just serve them more powerfully, and they'll value your fee. If your fee is 35 and you doubled your fee, you probably need to be spending more time with people. So if you had two enrollment calls, for instance, and they were paying you 15K, and you're enrolling them now in a 35K program, you probably need more than two enrollment calls.
Mm.
Eventually you won't. But as you're building, like I don't really have enrollment calls now, but that took a while of understanding how to slow down and not rush people to a process of a big investment.
Mm.
What are you hearing in this?
Yeah, yeah. And I think what you shared in the last call and even the book 10x is easier than 2x, which I've read even last year, is like about saying no, right? It's about setting a high bar, a high threshold. So for me, it's also about sometimes I have not even proposed because like I see you're not playing at my level of like commitment or something else.
That's good.
But what you're sharing, what you are saying now is don't make it a distinction. Like don't make it a like if either this or this, but be open to something, and then there may be a point in the future where I say like now it is this, now it is either or. But for now, as I am. Because for me, in the last 3 months, since I don't need money, like I don't need money to survive right now. So I'm very clear that no, right? This is
That's
the level
good.
I want to play at. Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is your business, right? So you could create it and do it however you want. Now, if you make an exception for people, one of my requests is you tell them, I'm making an exception. My request is you don't share this with people.
Mm,
So they honor that other people aren't going to be coming trying to get this rate with you. Now, 10x is easier than 2x is a place to stand from. So you have a vision of like, I am stepping in, 10x is easier than 2x, then be that. See, this whole thinking about 3 months, I got this is still a 2x thing.
mm,
You're just saying it's 5x, but it's a 2x way of thinking.
yeah.
10x is I am already the $1 million coach or whatever you are. And I
Yeah.
step into every arena, whether someone pays me 35 or 17, they're getting the $1 million coach.
Yeah.
So saying no is important. So I love that you're doing that. But there's someone in there that you really know you can, like, if you know they can't step up to your level and your commitment, then they're not the person. But there may be
Mm,
someone that you can get from a lower level to your level that once that happens, they'll explode.
yeah. 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 I think one thing which I see from now from what you shared is right, the short-term thinking is still 2x thinking, right? The two clients I have signed, they are running such big businesses that I can just maybe like turn them into like three more clients from their company itself, right? Which probably I'm not seeing right now because I'm looking at who else. So I'm not looking at like these two clients could generate the 5x, which I don't see right now. I'm looking for more.
That's right.
So and it's that short-term thinking, which is coming in the way of 10x is not short-term, it's long-term.
Long term.
Yeah.
Look, and I have another idea with your current clients, and then we'll go.
Mm,
I have a woman who paid $1,500 for the game changer. It's not my fee. That's the fee for the game changer, right? That's not
mm,
my fee. She came and paid 1,500. Now imagine if I said, no, don't be paying no 1,500 because people pay me 6 figures a year. You know what she pays me now?
no,
Million
maybe
dollars.
like six figures.
$1 million. Started in a game changer. Now imagine if I didn't serve her in the game changer because not and she wasn't on the level, but she got to a level.
Mm,
So what you have to understand is there's people who are sitting there who just don't see, and you're the person who can bring them there. And from that, you could create anything. And it's not money. Like I love working with her not because of the money. She's what she's creating in the world and how she impacts others.
yeah, yeah,
All right. So here's the other thing. You have 2 paid clients at your new fee, correct?
yes.
You want to be able to go to them and gift them and say, listen, I really acknowledge you. I want you to identify one or two of the most important people in your world who are up to something like you. And I want you to gift a coaching session from you, not from you, from them to them.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I see it. Yeah, I see it.
See it?
Yeah,
You're on fire, brother. So what I love about you is your event action, man. You learn something and you apply it. So I
yeah.
think that you're like 10x vision, like stay in the 10x, which means there are people who you're like, they're not going to step up to the level that's a definite no. But you don't want to also miss the people who, without the opportunity to experience you maybe at a lower level, they can't blow up themselves.
Mm, yeah,
When I raise my fees, I still was like if there was someone I knew early on that like I knew like I see it in them, and it wasn't for money. It was for the love of the game. I love people enough that if I can help someone, I have clients who aren't like uh like they're my clients for life. I consider them, but they're not
Mm.
like paying me right now. That what do you think? I just hey, I will not talk to you. I won't meet with you. No, I still have opportunities where I'm going to keep serving for the love of the game. And if you keep doing that and not focus on the money, focus on service. Focus on loving people and seeing where they are. And even if they're not on your level, can you have them leave your conversation better than they came?
Mm.
Because you don't want to start treating people like targets. They're not on my level. They're not 35K. So go with God. Get away from no. I want everyone who comes across me to leave me better than they came, whether they work with me or not.
Yeah.
So it's service, but it's really loving service.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
on fire. I love you, man. Keep it up. Get on these calls, when you can, get creative. Now you got space. See, you told me you got space. You ain't got no time.
Yeah.
You got no excuse not to be on these calls then.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And keep getting coaching. You listen, you're right where you need to be. In the transition, there's more space. Now, here's the thing. What are you doing with your space? Are you thinking of innovative ways to create other programs? Are you thinking of ways to serve your current clients? Like just astonish the people in your world that don't even know you're thinking about them. That's
Mm.
what I would use that time with.
Got it. Yeah.
How you feel? What's the most
Yeah.
valuable thing you're hearing?
I think it's not either or, it's both
Yeah.
and then the short term, like this is still 2x thinking. It's yeah, yeah,
Forget the outcome. The outcome will take care of itself if you really get in like, I'm just going to just serve the heck out of people and love people.
yeah, yeah.
You're good. You become a really,
Yes,
I could tell your coaching is also uplifted. I can tell. Just
it
like,
is. It is. Yeah,
I can tell,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And my clients are doing things which are inspiring me. Like I can notice my thinking going about like, oh, they can't do that, and they end up doing that, and it's amazing. Yeah,
How fun is this?
yeah,
Good job. I'm proud of you, brother.
yeah, yeah.
Love you,
Thank
man.
you.
Good
Thank you.
job. All right. Who we going with? We're gonna go with Lindsay.
All right. I'm changing my question than the one I submitted because it mainly already got answered when you were working with Louisiana, but I have something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, on last week's call, when we were talking about 10xing and, be do have, you spoke a few times about really aligning our being with our emotional state. And I'm curious for you to talk more about that and like the best ways to do that because I agree with you in the sense that like just putting some shit down on paper, it's just some shit on paper. It doesn't necessarily start translating into the be do have. So I'm just curious for you to expound on the aligning being with emotional state.
Okay, so tell me if I'm correct. So when I was speaking on the call about what you mean by aligning with emotional state, meaning like, um, when I make a declaration, I want to align it with the emotional feeling of that's what you mean, emotional state. Not, I wasn't talking emotional state like I'm angry, leaking, and being that kind of thing, right? You're talking about being.
Correct.
Okay. So what Lindsay's talking about is if y'all remember be, do, have, and I said, there's new versions of The Secret out. There's books that are like the new version of The Secret where they say if I just say this about myself, then all of a sudden I'm gonna wait and then I'll be a millionaire. And it's half true, right? So neuroscience has shown that we have patterns in our brain that have become patterns. Some of us are living out patterns that were created at a very early age. All of y'all remember being in the GameChanger and how powerful the racket was, right? Like, oh shoot, like, man, I've been running that pattern since 16, since 8, unconsciously. And so what happens is like, you just unconsciously just have this pattern. You go the same way to work. You walk to the, we walk to the train, and you somehow walk the same way every time. Because unconsciously, at some point, it gave you a feeling, right? Like a remembrance, and familiarity has you in a feeling of comfortability. But what happens is those patterns become dull over time, right? And so when you're talking about who you need to be, it's like, Samit has said before that, like, I want to be the $1 million coach. Okay. And what I'm saying is, okay, that's no problem. But like, if we're just using that as an example, it could be, I want to be the greatest partner in my relationship. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Today, we can use money, we can use relationships, whatever it is. I want to be the best coach in the world. I want to be the greatest horse. What do they call it? Equestrian? No, coaching.
It's yeah.
Equestrian coach in the world, right? So what happens is the declaration is a start. It's great. It's a way to wake up a pattern, right? It's a way to, like, it's almost like highlighting the bad program. Like, if I wrote a bad paragraph, I'm writing my book. If I had it, like, I've been writing it. Steve Chandler's been on me since 2017, but I finally have gotten some inspiration from this group. So imagine you have a bad paragraph, and when you declare something, it's like highlighting the paragraph, the old bad one, right? And it's like, we're going to cut that out. In order to replace it with this declaration, you can't just replace it with words. You have to understand that if I am going to command myself as the $1 million coach or the greatest husband to my wife, then the moment I declare it, what I want to do is literally go into my feeling state, because you feel your thinking, and feel what it feels like to be the $1 million coach, to feel what it feels like to be the greatest husband ever, to feel what it feels like to be the most sought after equestrian coach in the world. So there's a feeling that is associated with that, right? And so, like, I can look at, man, if I'm the best coach for the world, I have this feeling of expansion. I have this feeling of freedom. I have this feeling of just joy and fun. And I'm allowing myself to feel what that feels, all the feel that aligns with that. A great way to get to it is like, if I was that right now, how would my life be better? What would I be feeling? I'd be feeling joy. I'd be freer. I would wake up with my shoulders down. Okay. Feel that right now. You don't believe me? Watch this. Everybody, just, unless Louisiana's driving, don't just, everybody put something down. Okay? Watch this. Close your eyes. You too, Lindsay. Close your eyes.
You said watch this. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, you don't watch this. I'm talking about, yeah. Close your eyes. All right? Watch this. Not watch, just listen. All right. I want you to remember a time, right? I want you to remember a time where you were very sad. Like something occurred in your life and you were very sad. And I want you to go to that place, and I want you to feel that sadness right now. Just feel it. And when you feel it, just shake your head. Okay, good. Now, right now, I want you to stay there. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. I want you to go to a place where you are super happy. Like, this is one of the most happiest moments of your life. You could go back to it, go to that space and feel it right now. Just feel that happiness. Feel that joy. Let that smile come up. Just feel it. And when you feel that happiness, shake your head. Got it? All right. Open your eyes. Just like that. Do you see how you can align an emotional state just like that? It was like you were there, correct? Mm-hmm. It's like you transported time. So here's the thing with neuroplasticity. When you align who you say you are with that emotional state, the body doesn't know the difference. What does that mean? The body doesn't know, oh, let me check her bank account. Let me and see if he really does have $1 million. No, now your body is experiencing what the $1 million person is, what the best husband is, what the equestrian coach is. So now you have a way of being, an energy source that when you step into rooms, you're stepping into the rooms feeling like, oh man, she knows her stuff. She's the best in the world at this. Going into rooms like, I'm going to pay Samit whatever he asked me because he's walking in with that way of being, that energy. You just did it. Go to a sad place, you align the thought with the emotion, felt it. Go to a happy place, a thought with the emotion, felt it. That's what you need to be waking up every day, whatever your declaration is, right? I'm deeply in love with the love of my life, Jess, and my love grows deeper every day. I don't just say that. I feel it and experience it when I walk out in the world. I'm a miracle and I create miracles every day. I feel it. What does it feel like to be a miracle? What does it feel like? I'm already creating in my head. Now I'm walking into buildings and everything is miraculous. People will feel that way of being. That's when you align your thoughts with the emotion. The body doesn't know the difference. You will start being experienced and experience life from that way of being. And the beauty is when you align the emotional state, that's how you replace and rewire the pattern. Because the brain loves feeling good. So the dopamine hit, the hit of good feeling with this who I'm being, then becomes your new pattern and it replaces the old pattern. All the time. When you choose to pick another way to walk home or drive home, it always happens usually, right? It's like, oh, I didn't notice that was there. If you're aware, if you're present, right? It opens up different pathways.
Mm. Mm. Super helpful. I've heard you say sort of a rendition of this before, but I really realized after that last call that I wasn't like creating a connection in my mind in the way that I don't know, I could hear it a lot better on this call about really moving from that space of, whatever I want to declare. I'm the go-to Equus coach, right? Like, first of all, I need to spend a little more time truly thinking about how that's going to feel. Like when I'm that thing, how's that going to feel? And then when I'm saying that, just immediately dropping into embodiment of whatever that is, freedom, peace, service, like whatever that state is, and using that as like the conduit. So this is really helpful. The sad happy thing, to your point being like it's easy to see that, right? Because you can in your mind quickly go back, you know what I mean? Like, and then I was tearing up a little bit because I went back to something pretty sad, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
As my man CD would say, create the state, don't wait. You create the state. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for it to happen for you to feel it. No, create it now and live from that place. So, yeah, it's a great question, and we actually slowed this down more. It's like when you say, who do you need to be? That's where the difference of just reading a book or writing something down and thinking, or following people, it's like you want to align that with the emotion, the feeling.
And is that ultimately what you did? Because on that call, you mentioned, showing up in the world differently as, when you were a social worker and then when you became, the go-to mind coach, right? So in that shift, was that really the
Yeah.
process for you for that?
Yeah, that was one of the process. And you got to remember in both those roles, there were certain things that stayed, right? Like I still had a high level of confidence of really when I went into rooms as a social worker into houses that I really loved people and wanted to serve people. So that didn't shift, right? But the identity shift of go to mind coach MBA versus, social, that shifted. But some of the other qualities, you're not like, there's things that I already was doing and being.
Yeah. Yeah. Even, yeah, I
Even,
can see
it wasn't like when Devin got in coaching, he became this guy. Like there were certain things that I was being and doing from then, from back then. That's why I love getting into social work. That's why I love being in the inner city and working with young people. So you, all the qualities, you have qualities that are gonna serve you in your coaching, and um, the
Thanks.
declaration comes from,
Yeah, thanks.
who's that? The declaration is followed by the emotional state, but don't wait. Create it and live into it.
got it. Thank you.
Right? If you think of healthcare doctors, right? The real doctors, you know what the number one prescription is? Don't be thinking stressful thoughts. Don't be having negative people around you, right? Whenever you're going through some kind of surgery, they always telling you this, but people don't listen to that. They just want a pill to fix it. Yeah, Letty, I'll answer the question the next thing, but it's like the nervous system feels different, aligned emotional state. It's a good question. You did have goosebumps, but like what happens is when you can align your thoughts with your emotions, you will experience it as it's happening right now, like it's real. And then that's something you're going to keep living into, right? And then your nervous system will regulate around it.
Mm.
All right, good call today. Let's go. Last but not least, the one and only, Mr. Mind Jim himself. I was in his stadium the other day, Yankee Stadium. Let's give it up for Deets. What's up?
Hello. Hey, hello, everybody. Great to see everyone. Devin, once again, thank you for this wonderful book. I'm tearing it up, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Awesome.
So the thing that's been logged in my mind, and I've known it for a long time, but just recently, it's really resonated with me, and that is winners focus, losers spray. So this next level that I went on now is the videos. And I've been talking about the videos. I was ready to say too long, but that's not true. But I've been talking and not doing for too long. So I was not being impeccable with my word, and that bothered me. And a couple weeks ago, I was just sitting here by myself, and I just said, that's it. I'm going upstairs to the studio. I'm doing a video. So I brought my iPhone, I set it up, and I did that very first video that I posted. I just jumped in and I did it. Gave it to my son. He did a little editing, put the intro to it. And when I saw it, it got me fired up. I just did the second video. It's already in the can. It's ready for next Monday to go.
Yeah.
Friday.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on.
Hi, can I good thank you. Can I
Yes.
just have a black
Yes.
coffee, like an Americano?
Wow.
Hot,
Yes.
please.
Hi,
Jess.
Jess.
Hey,
Thank you.
Jess.
And a plain croissant, please.
Hey, Jess.
Here.
You're on video and everybody hears your order.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, guys.
Hi, Jess.
Sorry.
That's
Dean.
okay. No, that's cool. That's
Go
cool.
ahead, Dean.
So anyway, so I'm fired up about this now. So now that I'm doing these like 5 to 10 minute videos that I've already made a commitment that I will be doing them. I will be posting them every Monday, but I'm going to be doing multiple videos throughout the week. I watch your videos. I watch Jess's videos. You guys are like experts in this, and they're all different kinds of videos. So my question to you is, now that I'm in this state and I'm in it, I hit a new level. I'm in it. I'm not going back. Is there any suggestions that you can give me on how to kind of reel me in a little bit and have me focus? Is there a certain focus that I should have? Because I got the giddy up. I'm going. Now just reel me in a little bit and give me some focus if you could. Thank you.
Yeah, all good. So what does winners focus, losers spray mean for you?
The first thing that just popped into my mind would be a target market.
Okay.
That I would focus in on a specific market. Now that's different than the training that I got with Robbins, because Robbins, their thing was I can coach anyone, anytime, anywhere, any whatever, so it didn't matter who I was coaching.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to serve me now. It was great then, and I loved it. Got me fired up to be the coach that I am today. But now I feel like if I'm going to do these, no, not if, when I do these videos, should they be a specific way to focus to a specific market?
No, well, it depends. Like your niche, you can find a niche, or your niche can find you. So who are the people who are normally in your world? Like you have a demographic that's usually in your world, right? That comes to mind, Jim, that's like, tell me about those people.
They're wonderful and they're showing up greatly, but
What's the age?
ooh, gosh, I would say the youngest guy is in his mid-20s, maybe late 20s, and the oldest is, I'm going to say 50 something years old.
All right. So you got this range. And what are they usually, what really attracts them to you?
Oh,
Why don't you ask them? Hey, what is like the things that had you come in my world? What's the either content or value that I brought you that was most helpful? And I appreciate the love, but Jess is way better with social media than I am. I'm a step above Steve Chandler in this.
well, I look at this and I can go, okay, imitate success. I
Yeah.
mean, success leaves clues. Just copy that, and I get that, and I can easily do that. I can look at you and do everything that you're doing on video and do everything that Jess is doing on video. But I want to get it.
Well, how I got there, this was an easy formula for me. It's like, okay, if you already got the structure, right? So to me, the structure is this. People are in your world not just for one thing. People don't come to Devin just like I have people in my world who loves the type of father I am, right? I have people in the world who loves how I coach people, that I'm a straight New Yorker. I have people in my world who loves seeing like I travel and do these things, right? So for me, there was 4 buckets that I identified, right? They were really my cornerstones, right? It was like coaching, bucket, fatherhood and family, bucket, right? Travel, bucket, and then some version of like, behind the scenes kind of bucket, right? And so these were the 4 buckets. And then I would just make videos based on these 4 buckets and rotate them because they're going to be people. Nobody wants to just hear you just preaching, right? They want to know what you're up to too. So you want to identify your cornerstones, and I would just build content around the things you love doing. Mind, Jim, I definitely one of yours would be working out at the hit thing. Like I love those posts. You know what I mean? Like you would do that because then you got people's like, hey, this guy's mind, body, spirit. And you would identify the 4 buckets and then just make videos around that. How I did, I don't like doing a video a week. So I wrote 120 different, it's just me. I'm crazy, like 120 different topics that were broken up in these 4 buckets. And then I just have my man Shao once come out and I actually did it in one day. 2 days, right? Like that. That's how I like doing it. But that's, I'm crazy sometimes like that. Like I can like it. But if you're doing it once a week, you just have these 4 buckets and you do a video a week in those buckets.
Okay.
Make a list of all in those buckets. It'll be easier, as like the gym. What are the things I learned in the gym? Like when I go to the gym, my man has all these like good quotes on the wall, right? It makes you think. It's like there's some content there. Right? And then like if I'm on a coaching call or, just got off with my coach or just was with the community, boom, boom, boom. And you just add that bucket and you just serve content. Now, winners focus, losers spray. So social media is a social platform, right? So people, what you don't want to do is have a one-way conversation with people. I'm good at this when I'm really good, and I'm not good when I'm not. Like sometimes I just don't I'm not even on social media like that. So, but what that means is winners focus, losers spray. If you're focused on this, Deets, everyone who likes your stuff or comments on your stuff, you want to engage with. You want to have that reciprocity. You want to keep that currency going. Currency is a current, meaning it's reciprocal. Don't break the current. You just, like an electrical current. So when you're posting, you want to double down on, conversations. If someone comments and then you comment back to them, or someone likes it, maybe you send them, a resource or whatever like that. You're not selling them on anything. You're just getting in their world and serving them. And the reason why I would say for you, focus on the 4 buckets you love the most, because then you're having fun doing it. It's not like, oh, I got to do another video this week. People will connect with that. Gary Vee got famous just by them following him around, him just doing his normal stuff and being who he is. Right? He just loved yelling at people and getting them fired up. And like, that's my guy. I like it, and even him, if you notice, he's transitioned. He's not into the hustle anymore.
No.
But he just, hey, this is my life. And you got such an interesting life, man. Like you look like you're in your 20s and you just had your 65th birthday. Right? You lift more weights than the average 20-year-old, right? And you're such a, what I love about you is you to me are the inspiration for people. Like it's always time to learn and grow and know. Don't give up and retire. Like, I think that's your message, man. Like something out there talking to people like, hey, I'm 65 and this is what I'm doing. So if you're sitting there getting, sitting and just getting a fat ass stomach and counting your days till you die, wake up. Have fun with it. And then also be deets, man. You're one of the few guys. You made me believe in New Jersey again. I gave up on New Jersey. Then I met you. I said, I got to give Jersey another shot.
That's great.
What are you hearing in this, Deets?
Well, ironically, I do have my cornerstones, and so make videos based on the cornerstones. That was big. And I already had like Friday's video was supposed to be on imagery. Tuesday's video, I didn't write down what that's supposed to be, but I do. I have a list of these different topics that I want to go, but maybe I can divert from that, still use that. But I loved the idea of make videos based on my cornerstones. Like, as I'm going to the gym all the time and doing these things, be deets,
Yeah.
It brings an authenticity of really who I am. And I think that can come across much better than me trying to be maybe somebody that I'm not on these videos. But
your best currency is being yourself. So it's like I like a bucket called, so you put these 4 buckets, be deets, the gym, whatever, like life don't stop after 60, 5 or whatever. And then like your coaching, right? Some version of this. And then you have these 4 and you just fill in different topics under each and then just make a video and then you can rotate it. Now you're just being authentic and people are going to connect with you. I remember we hired what was that called? Like a company that would do this, and I started doing these videos and I hated it because they couldn't do me like I could do me. So I had to fire them. Like, this ain't me. I'm over here I'm looking at the video like, nah, man. So that was short-lived, very short-lived. But like, and so I think B Deets, you got such a good message. The way you learn, the way you challenge yourself. That's where it is.
Awesome. Thank you.
And when I mean focus is like when people engage with you on social media, that one person is way more important than 100,000. You can get 100,000 followers and no engagement. Now, I will say there's someone who's like really the best in this community, probably on social media. It's probably Jess is really great, and Sarita is amazing. Sarita has a lot of people who engage with her a lot, and she engages. So, I would utilize the people in this community who's doing really great as well. But that would be mine. Knowing who you are, Deets. That's what you don't want some fake version of Deets on there. Your realness is what makes you so powerful. When you come on, I look at people smile when you come on. That's what you need social media to be like. You just come on, be you.
Done deal.
All right. Can we say happy birthday to Deets? We got to start collecting birthdays. The only reason I know is because he celebrated. What's up, Deets? Happy birthday, man.
And I got to do one of these things.
That's right. Let's see if we can get there we go.
Did it happen?
I think you gotta upgrade the Zoom, man.
Oh, man.
I'll message you. All right. Anything else, Deets?
No, that's great, man. Thank you all. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
All right. Great call, Jess. We know when the next one is. We'll send an email. Check the Go High level. We're going to announce this month's speaker in the next day or two. And go be game changers. Go be game changers. I'm so proud of all you. I love you all. Go have fun, and great call. See y'all later.